So recently, on certain social media platforms appeared so-called deepfake AI-created movies, short clips
Yeah.
of Zen Master Sungsan's teaching. I'm just thinking, could you please share your thoughts about that?
Yeah. Well, there are maybe a couple of different perspectives to talk about this, because first it's a really it's a little headache because there were recently a few days ago actually our lay members reported to the temple that they have found some deepfake uh, AI Dharma talk of Zen Sungsan. So someone used AI, and then I think the person trained AI Zen Sungsan's voice, and then he uploaded quite a few actually video clips that faking that's the Zen Sungsan's Dharma talk in Korean. And then so I actually watched. That really sounds like him. His voice and the accent, and the way he used to give Dharma talk is it's very difficult to actually distinguish. I think no one is really surprised because that's what we expect in this world nowadays with this technology. But that's I take it seriously because the content, I mean, the what he talks about is it's also very tricky because it's about Dharma, and some part is very similar to what he used to teach us, but a lot of part I heard also I listened to some part that has nothing to do with what he used to teach us. So this can be really a big problem today. So there are always some side effects that we have to return if you gain some convenience. So yeah, it's a so we are now trying to find some uh, countermeasure and some solution how to deal with that. Like even we are thinking about hiring lawyer, practical level, uh, and then researching the ways that we also learned. Ours was not the first, of course. There are like a few famous Zen masters in Korean history, and also like a Seungcheol Zen master, Popjong Snim, and currently there is a very like a popular, famous Korean monk, Pomnyun Snim, Jongto-hae. Already, actually, they had this problem issues. Someone using AI and faking their voice, and then they give Dharma speech as, I mean, this guy wish, the channel administrator. And we already learned, they were already on the news, Buddhist news, that it's very difficult actually to make any countermeasuring because they are so smart. This guy who is doing of Zen Sungsan's opened the account in Singapore. It's all Korean, Dharma talk, but actually the channel is originated from Singapore. So if we make any legal action, actually we cannot pretty much anything to do because that channel owner is foreigner. It's a kind of not really um, get any restriction from Korean government. Hard to do. So, well, this is what's happening now in this world. We are getting a lot of benefits from this advanced technology. And of course, we will have to deal with all these side effects. By the way, that's what's happening. And then some practical uh, concerns I just shared. But of course, your question also, I guess, I believe that what to do with that. Well, it's a in Buddhist teaching and also in our practice, everything is based on cause and effect, as everyone understands so well. But often, also it's very easy to forget, like why my situation is go this way, why don't I get uh, as I deserve, as much as I have done. Even we practice, sometimes we just have that kind of opinion, as Popassanim said, idea why. But there is definitely always cause and effect. Because this AI deepfake things is now about Zen Sungsan's Dharma talk. I remember when before he started teaching in the West, that's like early 70s, he used to work a lot in Korean Buddhism Chogyo Oda until actually he moved to the West. He actually went to Japan 1969. So he was early in his early 40s, like 42. So until then, because he got transmission from Zen Master Kobong in very young age, like 21, right? And he was already recognized as a great Zen master in Korea, because the Zen Master Kobong was one of the well-known greatest Zen master in Korea around that time. So, but he was very young. And then he also, around that time, Korea was, going through a lot of historical events, kind of tragic history, like, Japanese occupation. And then soon after that, this Korean War. So the country was really destroyed. The first thing people needed was, simply food and finding out how to survive. Ironically or naturally, a lot of great actually spiritual teachers appeared around that time in Korea also. Then he wrote this book in Korean. That's a Seung Kwangja. It's like a class about Zen study. He actually wrote it before he moved to the West to teach. I mean, first in Japan, actually. So I think he edited the book in his probably late 30s or middle of 30s. And then I have read it because now it's only in Korean version. It's very similar to actually Compass of Zen. Also we have English version. I think this one is almost like the original text of Compass of Zen. Now we are reading. And then in the preface that he wrote, editing this book, he said, this world has been dominated by the Western philosophy until now. Like in the Western history, okay, there is I hope I don't make a mistake, but because I'm not really good with the history, but if I try to remember what he said, it's very, just some summarizing of this world history about philosophy, how we actually this world now ended up that situation, because that's exactly how the humankind think, so that this world goes that direction. And so far, in the preface, he introduced, so far, this modern world is deeply influenced by Western philosophy. So if I remember just a few things from there is, for example, just simply saying that the this Christianity or the God and the human being in the West was totally like a sky and earth. So I mean that's the object that human being was worshiping. And then when the society or this material industry start to being developed, then the people, human, they started, realizing that, oh, maybe there's no God. Why we always have to follow some creature that we have never met? So from there, like how do you call in English, 인본주의, like it's a more like now focusing on humanity, not the God, right? And then from there, this is all actually you understand about this history. And then, in England, there was some industrial revolution, so that this materialism really flourishing more than actually humankind need. So there was like a renaissance, and all those things were developing in a way that always there were like some dualistic ideas. Okay, there was a first God and the human, and then now instead of there's no God, there's no really big gap between God and the human, and then another kind of social caste, like some like a ranking appear depending on the industrial development, and then that goes all the philosophy goes to well, which is actually really some natural and um, in a way that people really try to find what the true meaning of life or where actually this humankind originated. But underneath of this old philosophy, there was always some like this opposite ideas, dualism. So that was the kind of key point of Western philosophy. And then it has been dominating the whole world kind of um, situation, politically, economy, and then also that also make an influence between the human relationship. So what he said was the Buddhist teaching, the starting point is actually not from this dualism, the opposite ideas. Actually, it starts from oneness. That's what she talked about is before thinking substance. So the God, human, or I and you, actually coming from the exactly same point. That's a big difference. So if this kind of root of this universe, could be actually taught to the people, this world could have a quite different uh, kind of flow throughout the history. And then that's what he tried to kind of introduce in the beginning of this book. I hope actually I introduced proper way. Maybe if not, someday maybe I can again refer to the book and then introduce again. But the more impressive mention that he made in the preface was the last actually, because so why then still, if the Buddhist teaching or this non-dualism in the very beginning, like underneath of this old teaching, if that's really great and that's supposed to be actually the ground of all kind of philosophy, why still it's not as flourishing as still like some Western philosophy that in history? like that based on dualism. Why? And then he said the biggest responsibility is on this because it's about the Zen practice. He said the biggest responsibility is because we Zen practitioners have not practiced as hard as we are supposed to do. He didn't point his finger to other part. He actually the bottom line at the end of the preface was, yeah, it's so important to spread this great teaching into the world. And actually, if it's not has been enough, spread it. The biggest responsibility is on us because our practice has not been strong enough, so that has not reached out to enough people yet. I was really touched because when I was reading just to until I read that actually bottom line, the ending mentioning, I was thinking, "Oh, I agree. This is because because this is Western philosophy. Oh, this is because they don't still recognize how great the Buddhist teaching. I agree with what he says, and he said at the end, the responsibility is on you because you don't practice enough to inspire people. I think this is always should be the bottom line of our own dilemma or issues, especially in practice. Don't try to find the reason if there is a trouble outside yourself. That's the true Buddhism means that, inside yourself. Look at, these AI things. It will be unstoppable. Who can stop it? I'm using it because it's so smart for translation. It covers a lot of some part that I can miss or I can make a mistake or it save a lot of time for me. But absolutely, if you are not clear, and particularly using with using this AI things also, then though you will have to pay. Where is the responsibility? Who actually created, who invented this AI? That's all in the responsibility on human being. So, I mean, this is maybe a little too kind of ultimate point about your question. But I think this is, there's nothing more important that I can share, even for that issue. Because this is gonna be, even more active soon. Yeah, about your question, the AI things, the Dharma talk, how can you avoid to be deceived by this smart technology? I still, emphasize on your own practice. And that's why also um, in our especially teaching tradition, uh, in Kongan, there are some Kongans that requires you to be very clear so that you are not deceived, you are not cheated. So that's all I think related, connected now, or this kind of events with AI. Uh, it's also related to our practice. It's only in a different form. Again, that's from this, before thinking, or manifested into many different kind of form. So, yeah, the two things.